Okay, this is March the 27th at 11:30 at night in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I'm the announcer tonight, like Daddy.
In a green and white trailer, sitting in a
yes,
cow field.
we have Chuck here, and Joyce, and Cheryl, and Daryl. And so we're going to fill in the other side of this tape. Yeah, I've said my part.
Cheryl is trying to make a carrot cake for tomorrow at lunch, and for some reason or other, it's double the size of the pan.
No.
Oh.
That's a terrible thing to tell her mother-in-law. Tell her how good a cook she is.
Well, she is.
We had a fantastic meal tonight.
Yes.
Charcoal broiled steaks, Dad, outside and in the rain, and scalloped potatoes, and a salad, and whole wheat bread. It was pretty good, I tell you. And Cheryl's sticking her tongue out at us.
Cheryl and I asked Chuck and Joyce to come up here so we could give them some true marriage counseling before they...
And they haven't given us any yet. I don't think they're going to give us any.
Pick out your wedding song.
Oh, shoot.
No, you did.
Oh.
Anyhow, we did some tennis playing today, trying to see which couple could best beat y'all when you come back, since y'all think you're sort of king of the world or something. And, well, I'll let Chucky say who's the best.
Well, Joyce and Cheryl were the best, I guess. No. You can guess who's
Joyce by herself.
about now.
Then we went bowling.
Oh, yes, we went bowling, Dad. We thought about you as Daryl did his fancy bowling. Where I could see you knocking them down with your arm. That final thing like that. Dad used to do that all the time.
Is that where you got it from?
Okay, well, let's see then. I can still see Dad going up there and just, oh, like that.
I could always tell when Daryl got a strike before he did it.
No, just if he had a good throw, not if he got a strike.
Well,
If he thought it was a strike. Joyce, come over here. Joyce is so pooped.
We couldn't figure out why she's so pooped because we didn't do anything but play tennis today.
Oh, went bowling.
We saw an African movie at 9:30 last night.
Yeah. Joyce, tell him about the movie.
Yeah. I want somebody else to tell me about the movie.
We saw a really good movie about Africa. Made us feel like... It made us feel like we were there. It's about this old man. It was a movie made by an African about this older man who got a money order from Paris.
From his nephew in
From his nephew in Paris. See, Joyce, you should tell it.
I'll just go in and
And so he went to the post office to get it, cash it. And they told him he had to have some kind of identification card. But he'd have to go to the city hall to go get an identification card. So he goes to City Hall. Well, first of all, he couldn't read or write, so he had to pay somebody in the post office to read the letter to him, explaining everything, how much money was to go to who and everything. And so then he goes down to City Hall, and at City Hall they told him that he had to have a birth certificate, 300 francs, and 3 photos or something. Sound familiar, Dad? And so, of course, this guy doesn't have a birth certificate.
You don't know when he was born.
He doesn't know when he was born. So he goes down to somewhere else where he's supposed to get a birth certificate. And the guy asked him when he was born, and he has a paper in his wallet that says that this guy, gives his full name, was born sometime in the 1900s. Around 1900. And the guy said, well, what month were you born? And he didn't know. So he said, well, you have to tell me what month you were born in. So this poor old man could not, for the sake of him, get his get this identification card. Couldn't get a birth certificate. And, you know, and at the same time, everybody was trying to take advantage of him and charge him money. He went to get his pictures taken. He paid 300 francs to get his pictures taken. And when
he had to have a photo.
Yeah, had to have 3 photos. So then when they came back in the evening, of course they weren't ready the first time he came back. Well, the third time he came back, he got real mad at him, demanded his money back. And of course it was, you know, one of these shops that, you know, they make sure they get your money, and of course the camera doesn't work, and they never really did take the picture to begin with. So he got rooked there and kind of got beat up there, and anyhow it just goes on and on and on and on and on until finally some big rich African man who drives a car and everything said that he would help him cash it, that he would act as a power of attorney for him or something. So they went down to the post office or somewhere, and the man came out with this paper and said, "Here, you sign here." And so the man signed it, and the guy went in and cashed it, and kept all the money. Didn't give the guy any of the money at all. He stole his whole money order from him.
He told him he didn't pickpocket.
Well, yeah, he lied to the man and said that somebody had stolen the money from him, but it was pretty obvious from the movie. It was, and that's what it basically, it was a documentary on, well, I mean, it was a comment, social comment on what? The vices of corruption, I guess. Very interesting, very African, you know. Daryl and I, after trying to get licenses and all that, visas and stuff like that, we all could feel for the man, you know. Just, you felt so helpless. And these people that knew the right person, you know, they'd go in and say, well, I have a friend here, and he'd come out and do this and that, you know, that kind of stuff, which we're all very familiar with. Very good movie. Just glad we got to see it. Okay. Takes care of that. Joyce, did you ever send that letter you wrote to him? Why don't you tell him what you wrote?
I sent you. I wrote
Someone's got lost. Hey, you all just talked about this one.
What someone?
The,
Oh, yes. That date for the shore is not going to work out. I don't know. I think we gave you several dates, and I don't know. Anyhow, I don't know whether it was poor communication or what dates. I think Joyce and I gave him dates when we went over there or something, maybe.
I talked about 2 days.
Yeah. Anyway, I forget what dates will suit now, but that week will definitely not suit, because if I have a teaching job, I'll be teaching there.
And Daryl sure aren't in summer school now.
Daryl sure won't be in summer school, so any time this summer would suit, except Wednesday's
how
when.
about when does Linda Tyler go?
Well, see, we told them that would be the only time that would suit us because of summer school, but
Yeah.
now I cram my courses in and we don't have to go to summer school.
So anyhow, the first or second week in August would suit us, but the third and fourth week I'll be in school probably.
Second week is the best.
Yeah.
At least from this side. I don't know about Ron and Joe and Pat and Earl and Doug. And
Well, they all talk like it didn't really make too much difference to them, except they kind of wanted it towards the end of the summer since they were going to come to North Carolina in the beginning. So, I guess you'll probably get this tape before you get any of our letters. Dad, I have those batteries. I have 2 batteries for your camera that I need to send. I don't know. I guess I was waiting until I wrote a letter, but you know how my letter writing goes. So I guess
I can't believe it's worse than mine.
well, it's probably not worse than yours, but it's poor. So I'll send them on. You can be expecting to get them, but
Well, I guess we're all feeling a bit tired about this time of night, so I think Chuck and Joyce are sort of retiring. So I think Cheryl and I will try to talk a little bit on it, and Chuck and Joyce said we'll finish it up later on. We've got our garden out in back of our trailer now, and we've got a row of lettuce and about 8 rows of peas and 4 rows of onions already in. And it rained real hard this afternoon, so we think that will help a lot in getting it started. It's really exciting. We sort of are really excited about getting everything in and seeing it grow and canning stuff again, and just really seems like it's going to be exciting. That I started out trying out for the tennis team, and I was doing all right. I was improving each day, but when I started seeing how much time it was taking and all the other things I'm involved in, I just had to say, forget it. So now I just have to practice on my own. But I was really enjoying it and having a lot of fun. I think I could have made the team, but I guess that's what happens. You have to decide which are your priorities. Cheryl and I are involved in a number of things. One of them is on Thursday night. We just started meeting again with junior high kids who are from like 6th grade to 9th grade, and they sort of wanted us to meet with them and to help them have some sort of Bible study, teaching, discipleship meeting. And it was really neat last Thursday night because about 18 turned up, and we just started praying and having prayer requests, and you could hardly get them stopped. We went about 15 minutes later than what we had planned, just because they were so excited about talking that we couldn't, sharing about prayer requests, that we couldn't really get stopped. So anyhow, it seems like there's a lot of enthusiasm and excitement, and it'll really be neat to see these kids really get grounded and excited about the Lord and going on from here. So if you think about it, pray about that group particularly. We're trying to meet every other Thursday night, and on the other Thursday night we have an older sharing group that we're involved in, which we aren't involved in any kind of leadership, so it's sort of nice to go and to worship and share and hear what God wants to say through other people too. Also on Thursday morning each week we are involved in an intercession group where we meet with about 4 other kids and waiting on the Lord to find out what God wants us to pray for, and then praying through for God to specifically work in the things that He shares with us. And that's really exciting because we have to learn to hear what God is saying and not just, our own thoughts or feelings or what comes to our mind. We sort of put them all aside. So we're learning a lot. But it seems like we are still really busy this term. It's I don't know, somehow we seem to not be able to get out of that busy schedule that we like so much. Well, I don't know that we like so much, but that it seems like we always, go back to it. Tomorrow morning in church, Chuck and Joyce are going to give a little children's talk in before the church. We asked them to give some sort of missionary story or something that would, for about 5 minutes, so that should be interesting. In another week, I'm supposed to be preaching at church, so I don't know whether you probably won't get this tape by then, but if you do, be praying for me. And also we're sort of excited about seeing the film The Hiding Place, which is going to be in town here in another week or so. Cheryl, what do you have to say about what's happening? Cheryl's says she feels like she doesn't really know you all, so she's a bit afraid to talk.
Well, it isn't that I don't know them. I don't know
Well, you
them
got to
that
talk
well,
louder.
but,
They can't hear you. You got to talk louder if you want them to hear you. Anyhow, she's afraid of talking to you over a tape recorder. I don't know why. I think she just, I don't know. I guess she's afraid she doesn't have anything to say, but she has a lot to say, really. Well, this morning I was leading a prayer breakfast of just some interested people who want to get together, particularly sharing about discipleship and prayer. I guess you know that Sam Jansen and his wife are in Jamaica last week and for another week, ministering down there to churches and the leaders of the churches. I think this is a really neat opportunity for them. And of course, Sam and I are still working in the jail together, and right now we're working on an exercise program and a GED program for kids to work towards getting their high school education through testing. And it's still been quite discouraging in many instances there because we haven't really seen anyone come through, get out and go on with the Lord. But there have been a number who really seem to have come through and are going on with the Lord in the prison system, which we're praising God for. And since January, too, we've been having a Bible study in the jail, which makes it neat because there's more discipling and this kind of thing. I'll do it later, dear. And so that's a real asset in the whole ministry there, because kids that do come to the Lord then will have that teaching and fellowship with other believers there who are in the jail. This term in college, I only have 8 hours, but there's still a lot of reading I have to do, so it keeps me really, really busy with all my other runnings around.
Well,